Just some quick updates about the center. A lot has been happening and continues to happen at the center, so we're really excited about that. When I came to the center 13 years ago, the summers used to be sort of a slow period where it was good to kind of do some spring cleaning and get some boxes of old files shredded, those kinds of things. And for the last few years, we have not been able to do that because things just keep coming, which I think is a great sign of our growth in the community. So I'm going to categorize this just in a few places, and more is to come, but I just want to give you a sense of what's been happening at the administrative level. And I also want to recognize that two of the DRC's three board members are here. Judy Hollis is on the board, Muffy McKenzie is a board member, as well as Patrick McLaughlin. So please jump in if you have anything to add. From an administrative perspective, since spring of last year, actually, about spring of last year, we were granted an award from the Ann Arbor Area Community Foundation that also includes about 4 or 5 other funders that makes up the coordinated funders for the community. And it's a big deal for Washtenaw County organizations. These are people who are in the background that support many of the nonprofits in the community. One of the things that they did unique in 2014 was to decide that some nonprofits are doing great work, but they need to improve their capacity. They need some support in capacity building. So what that allowed, that decision led to this group of funders who make up the coordinated funders to come together and pool some resources to select nonprofits whose work that was really good and powerful, has a great deal of impact and potential, but is struggling from a financial and sustainability perspective. And the DRC was one of the first organizations to be selected. We were one of 3 for 2015. We reapplied and we were selected again to get additional funds for this year that would take us into next year. The reason why I want to share this, and there'll be more to come on this because it's a long menu of things that we're working on, but we finally got a chance to get a business consultant, which is new, a nonprofit enterprise at work, to come in and do a comprehensive analysis of our organization from an organizational perspective, not just programs, but organizationally, and work with the leadership team of the DRC, the board, and the executive director on a number of things, just a laundry list of things. But one of the big outcomes that is coming up soon will be our 3-year strategic plan. So that is something that we've worked on here and there, and as you can imagine, all of you have been engaged with organizations. That is a big undertaking, and it can be quite expensive. And we've never really had a large sum of money to approach that in the most comprehensive way. So we are engaged in that. The plan will go before the board of directors in the next month or so for their input and approval, and then once that's done, we will have a plan that will take us from January 1, 2017 through 2020, I believe. And I'm very excited about that, having a clear plan about what we want to do, what we want to accomplish over a 3-year period to grow in the most responsible and appropriate way. The growth is good, and how we've managed to keep all the balls in the air, I really don't know. Most of the time, I feel like what happened last year is a blur because we really worked so hard as a staff to keep everything going. So it'd be nice to have a clear plan of how we want to expend our energy and our resources. So I look forward to that. We're hoping to have that document available to share with our volunteers in December when we gather for our reception. So we'll have more information to share with you how it addresses the things that you all are engaged in as well. From a programmatic perspective, we continue to see growth in interest in the restorative practice part of our work. The peacemaking court, that partnership has really, it continues to be strong. We continue to work together. We're working with the child protection cases mostly. However, other judges on the bench are beginning to just feel a little bit more comfortable with the idea. I shared with a couple people that Judge O'Brien heard a criminal case that was a low-level crime, and she introduced the thought of peacemaking to the prosecutor's office as well as the public defender on the case. Now that the adjudication is complete, and I may not be using the right legal terms, but the defendant of the case has completed his time in jail, for those of us who are not lawyers. She thought it might be a good idea for closure in this week, which I did not expect it to go anywhere. Both the defendant and the victim made contact with the center, so we're beginning to see that. I'm not suggesting that we're going to have a flood of cases. What I am saying is that by holding steady to what we're doing and doing it with fidelity, integrity, and quality will help those who have to make these choices become more comfortable with the risk. They want to, you know, one more judge is coming online is what that means, and I think that's huge for us. That is huge, a circuit court judge. So we'll work on that and continue to cultivate that relationship. In peacemaking, though, we seem, you know, I feel like we are a small fish in a very big pond, but this summer we had a chance to work on a partnership with Manistee. The Skysquad, who has just been a school project for us, we thought, just has really taken this work to a different level. Youth being trained to do what we have done traditionally as adults, and they're doing it in their schools. One of the Skysquad members was the Young Citizen of the Year, so we got some publicity through that. The folks in Manistee, actually some people in Lansing decided we should work with the folks in Manistee, and we've made 2 trips there this summer. In June, Skysquad members went with us, and they did an awesome presentation, which you'll experience today. What's basically happening is that they see such value, not only in the students doing the work, but how the students got to the place in their values and the philosophies of the work to do it with such fidelity. They really believe in what they're doing. So the Manistee community is with their juvenile court as well as their school district wants to implement what we started here. So we've just basically been a technical assistant to that. So that was fun fun for the center, but really fun for the students. So 5 students went up with me. They did a great job, and it was interesting because we give them such an important job to do in their school, but they're still kids. After the presentation, they ran to the beach, pulled their pants up and played in the water, literally played in the water, collected rocks and all of that, and then fell asleep in a car on our way back home. So they're still kids, and that was refreshing to experience with them. So we'll continue to do the school work. Some of you were here when we worked with Ypsilantis a few years back. Then we had a couple years where we did not work with them at all. We got an invitation to come back this summer to work with them in a different kind of way. We'll still deliver the services that we do, but we're not in a lead role. They continue to ebb and flow and to evolve as a district. Michael Brown, who's one of our peacemakers, is now hired into that school to lead that effort. And he insisted that the DRC be a partner in that so that we can help deliver the circles and that kind of thing. So school just got started about, 2 weeks ago. So Michael is sort of getting the lay of the land and pulling things together, but we're the first people on the list to go in with that partnership to help deliver the services. So we'll have presence in the Ypsilanti School District again. We're also going to work with Pathways. That's been sort of a slower moving. Pathways to Success is the alternative school for Ann Arbor Public School District. Pathways has been a more of a slow-moving process. We are working with the teachers first, and I'll go back in and continue to work with them for a couple of days over the next 4 or 5 weeks to get their skills and competencies up. And we've offered to help them as they deal with student conflict and student-teacher conflict. So there will be some DRC presence there. So 2 schools in Ann Arbor and 1 the high school at Ypsilanti. That's still emerging. The court programs continue as they have been, so those relationships are very healthy, and we are, even with the changes on the bench, we have a new magistrate. Some of you may already have experienced her at the 15th District Court. Sally and I have met with her, and they're very satisfied with what we're doing. Ypsilanti Township 14B continues to hold steady, and 14A continues to go steady as well.
Who is the magistrate?
Tamara
Garwood.
Garwood got that position, yeah, and Judge Karen Velville is now the judge there. So, yeah. So those are the relationships to build, to solidify, so that we won't have an interruption in the services that we do. So I think things are continuing to move steady, in a steady pace. I'm very, very excited about the capacity building grant that we got, and the ability to take a step back and take a real comprehensive view of what we're doing, and make those improvements. Growth is great, but we know it can also be risky, so we have to do it in a healthy way. So that's where we are. Anything else that I forget?
I think it sounds good.
Okay.
Except you have been contacted by people around the country.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think, who would have thought? We do peacemaking. Who would have thought people in other parts of the country would be so interested in what we do, want to do it, see it as a court improvement opportunity for their local court, as well as other agencies seeing it as an opportunity to better serve their community. So we were contacted. I actually had a chance to go to Denver, Colorado at no cost to the center. I actually had a sponsor. I've never had that before, so I was excited. And met with a lot of social justice, grassroots organizations were gathered, and I was a part of that. But there was a lot of conversation about the things that we do here. We've been contacted, I think, because of Zena. Did you train in Philadelphia recently? Elder care?
Your name to it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, the lady out of Philadelphia actually called. Washington State has a very robust peacemaking, child protection services, and parent empowerment process. So I've been on the phone with them a lot about what we do and about what they do, and we're trying to entice them to come over. So we've asked the state court to pay for their costs to come here so we can learn from them. They do a parent empowerment piece. The idea of our work in peacemaking with the child protection cases is when all of the professionals deem that this family should be reunified, we facilitate the conversations that get them to that place of reunification. So empowering the biological parent is a big part of that. How do we get these parents to move from, I screwed up so poorly, my kids had to go into care, to I'm ready to do this job of parenting and create a loving and a safe environment for them. So it's a huge undertaking. So how to keep them engaged, we have to do a lot of learning around that. So we're trying to get them here. But folks out of Los Angeles are interested in what we do, what we've done at Skyline High School, and I thought they were pretty progressive in a lot of places in the LA community. But it's nice that like-minded people are finding ways to come together to have these discussions about how we do this work and how do we keep it going. And the biggest question is, how do we keep it funded? The irony is that in spite of all the good that it's doing, state budgets and school budgets just don't support it, and you'll hear that from Skysquad. In spite of all of the things, the outcomes that have come out of the Skysquad, they get no funding, they get nothing. I mean, when we train, we find folks. The Unitarian Universalist Church supports them. Just getting pizza and grapes and the things that kids want when they're in a couple of days of training. Pisano's hosted their end of the school year dinner, which was huge. 22 kids eating dinner at Pisano's, and that was a gift by Pisano's to acknowledge and recognize their good work. I think as adults in the community, we do have a responsibility to help these kids feel good about what they do. If they were running track or something like that, they get a letter, but they get nothing. So, but they don't give up, they don't feel bad about it. So a number of people in the community continue to try to find things to reward them and to help them feel encouraged to continue this work. So yeah, things are growing and we have gotten a very, very positive response. So again, I thank all of you for keeping the services humming, moving along, because what you do in those rooms is a direct reflection on the organization, and that's why those calls come and those opportunities present itself. So thanks.